Hello everyone and welcome back to Tinderloss Gaming and welcome to episode 4 of my playthrough of Arkham Horror 3rd edition. We are currently, or I am currently playing through the Ithaquas Children scenario. We're on episode 4, so we're a fair distance in. We'll go across to the main table in a second, but as always, if you're liking what I'm doing, if you could please like and subscribe to the channel, that would be very much appreciated. Also worthy of mention is the Discord channel that I have going. I place a load of short shots in there. We have a bit of chat about games that are playing, other games, RPGs, all sorts of stuff. So if you want to come across and join the Discord channel, you'd be very welcome. And also, I'll put the link in the description below, so you can log on if you want to. Anyway, without further ado, let's get across to the main table. So I'm playing with Zoe Samaras, Kate Winthrop and Preston Fairmont. Preston seems to be the man of the moment at the minute. He seems to be doing a lot of heavy lifting. He's currently engaged with a looping thrall. Kate's sort of hanging around in central Kingsport at the moment, but she's managed to pick up a couple of followers, Prudence and Nick. And Zoe's about to sort of head off and take on this Wendigo that we need to kill. So that's the plan for this scenario and this session. We've got 4 Doom on the scenario sheet, and the current codex is telling us when it gets to 10 something happens, so we need to get a bit of a wriggle on really. So without further ado, let's go into the action phase. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do first of all? I think first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to activate Preston, who is going to try and take on this looping thrall. Now, Preston has also got, I can show you, bear with me for just 2 seconds. So, Preston has got the looping thrall engagement. He's got a knife. He's also got the beast with him, which he's going to use in a second. So that's what he's going to use, and that's the current layout of Preston's card. Okay, right, so an attack action. So the beast with him, first of all, when you perform an attack action, you may test law. He's got a law of 2. Now, do we actually... He's going to focus for his first action, and he's going to focus his law. He's got a focus limit of 3, so that's his 3rd focus. And then his second action, he's going to attack the beast, so we're going to use the beast with him to attack. So first thing we need to do is test law, and it's now 3. Needing a success, which he gets with a 5. That's good. Oops, Daisy. So that then means beast within says if you pass, roll 5 dice instead of your usual pool, ignoring all other modifiers. So it does effectively give us an extra dice. So his strength is 1, plus his focus is 4, plus his knife is 1, so that takes him to 5, but the looping, oh no, it would have been 5. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Rolling 5 dice. Rolling 5 dice, ignoring all other modifiers. So come on, Preston. This looping thrall's got 4 health. Man, 3 4s and a 2. Okay, what else has he got? He's got nothing. He's got nothing. Oh God, that's annoying. That is very annoying. Nope. Okay. So he fluffs that. 4 4s and a 2. Okay, so that's how this session's going to go. So that's Preston done. Okay, Kate. What's Kate going to do? Kate is going to attempt to help Preston out first of all. She is going to do a binding spell. Choose 1 monster on any space. We're going to choose the looping thrall. Test law, which is going to roll 4 dice. going to roll 4 dice. Using that mod as evade, so it's -2. Okay, -2. And we need to pass this one. So 2 dice. Oh, man. No, that's not passed. But we've got the lucky cigarette case. Once per round you may add 1 to the result of a die when resolving a test. So we will add that 1 to that to make it a 5, which means it passes, which means the loop in thrall is exhausted. So that's going to stop Preston from getting a smacking from the loop in thrall. So that's for Kate's first action. Her second action, 4 doom on here. So we need again trying to keep that down, but she does need to heal a little bit. Congregational, oh, she's really stuck. Right, she's going to move, and hopefully she's going to go 1, 2 to there, and hopefully be able to move back. So that's what she's going to do. That's Kate done. It might be a mistake there. We shall find out in a bit. No. Hang on a second. She's not going to move. She's going to stay there, and she's going to use her second action to remove a clue from the scenario sheet to do 2 more damage to the Wendigo, which puts it at 6 now. Let's think about the bigger picture. I don't really like Kate being stuck down there, but there's nothing I can do about that. So that is it for Kate, and now Zoe is going to attempt to finish off the Wendigo. Here we go. So she moves in, she engages the Wendigo. It's massive anyway. God. So she's a curiosity shot. Let's put it down here so we can see what we're doing. It's got 6 health on it. It's taken 6 health. Elite 2. Feed. After this monster deals damage to an investigator roll, it recovers that many health and blah blah blah. Retaliate. After you perform an action, if you did not damage it, the monster attacks you. So this is dodgy. This is dodgy. There's a few things we need to work on first of all. Zoe's cross. After you become engaged with the monster, you may deal 1 damage to it. Yes, I will. Oh no, you may deal 1 damage to this item, which I will, to test will. Deal damage to that monster equal to the result. Her will is 4. Her will is 4. One damage. Hang on a second. Oliver McBride. Once per round, when resolving a test, you may re-roll any number of dice. If you do, place 1 doom in that space after this test. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Could be dodgy, but I'm going to do that. 1 doom. Oh, that's a remnant. Oh, I'm running out of tokens here. Actually, I can take that, move that to a 3. Re-roll the test. 2. Slightly better. 2 damage via Zoe's cross, which takes it to 8. So I've moved in, I've engaged it, or I've moved in, I've become engaged with it, or I'm attacking it, so I've become engaged when I attack it. So the move was the first thing, and then the second is the attack, which is engaging. So then we're going to attack it. So she has a strength of 3, +1 because she's focused, and the chef's knife gives her +2. So, here we go. She does 1 damage to it. And because of Delilah, so that's 1 damage, that takes it to 9. And then Delilah O'Rourke. After you deal damage to a monster as part of an attack action, you may deal 1 additional damage to a monster in your space, which I am going to do, which then kills the Wendigo. 10 health of it. There we go. That is the Wendigo killed. Wow. That was pretty good. Now Zoe gets a remnant for killing it. That's going to go back over there. He might come back out, or who knows. And let's see what the codex says. So friend or foe says when the Wendigo epic monster is defeated, flip this card. So we're going to flip this card, and it says, leaning over the massive bestial body, you hear a low hum behind you, where a shimmering doorway parts the air. From this mystic pathway emerges a bookish man in a fine suit and overcoat, who nods approvingly at your victory. It was a man once, the stranger tells you, and a friend. This poor creature was twisted by an ancient evil, Ithaca, the Wind Walker. In response to your unvoiced questions, he continues, it has come to your city with a long history of corruption and madness in search of weak souls to taint with its influence. I am relieved to find capable hunters have already risen to the challenge, and to see that I need not stand alone before this threat. Will you aid me? Choose an investigator to gain Inukuk. Right, we're going to gain Inukuk, which is ally, keeper of the paths. Encounter, move an unengaged investigator from any space to any space in any other neighbourhood. 3 and 3. Wow. Wow. Who are we going to pick for that? I think Preston, or is it Preston? No, I think Kate. Kate's going to grab him, yeah, because it's an action or an encounter. Yeah, we'll choose Kate. And then it says, take cards 93 to 95, select 2 of them at random and add them to the codex. Return the other card to the archive. Return this card to the archive. So 93, 94 and 95. 93, 94 and 95. So that's those ones. Now before we look at them, we're going to choose 2 of them. And the way I'm going to do that, first of all, is going to roll a dice. So 93 is going to be 1 and 2, 94 is going to be 3 and 4, 95 is going to be 5 and 6. So 95 is going to come, and then 93 is going to be 1 to 3. So 93 and 95. So those will go back to the archive. So 93 says, Ithaquas tells you that many of the creatures swarming through the region have been twisted by the influence of Ithaca, the Wind Walker. Defeating those beasts will weaken the Ancient One's way. Pursuing another opportunity as well may present you with more options, but defeating Ithaca's thralls will make their master vulnerable. After you defeat a thrall monster in a location with no marker, you may spend one clue from the scenario sheet to place one green marker face up in your space. Streets are not locations. When there are 3 face up green markers on the board, returns cards 94 and 95 and flip this card. Okay, so that's 93. Then 95 says countered magic. The magic that Ithaca and its followers are using to enthrall the people of the Miskatonic River Valley can be countered with the right charms, and your friend Ithaca knows the proper rites to do so. It may serve you well to pursue both of the leads that Ithaca provided you, but you know that performing this counter spell will make it possible to ward the region against future incursions. Action: test law -1. If you succeed, spend one clue from the scenario sheet to place one face-up white marker in your space. Perform this action only in a neighbourhood that does not contain a white marker. If one neighbourhood in each of Innsmouth, Kingsmoor and Arkham has a face-up white marker, return cards 93 and 95 to the codex and flip this card. Right, okay. Blimey. There, for the time being. Lots going on. But that was it for the action phase. That was Zoe's second action. So we now move on to the encounter phase. The monster phase. Now the only monster on the table, I'm just scanning across the table as we speak, is the Lupine Thrall. So we're going to go through the monster phase first of all. Each ready monster activates. There are no ready monsters. Each engaged monster deals damage. There is no engaged monsters. Each exhausted monster readies. So the Lupine Thrall is going to ready there, and it's going to engage with Preston. Preston. Well, now it stays there. You have to engage it as part of an attack action, so it's going to stay there. So that's it for the monster phase. We then move on to the encounter phase. And as always, we will start with Zoe, and Zoe is in the north side. So first things first is she's going to have a terror encounter, and that's got a 3 to 5 on it. The presence lurking in the storm begs for someone to keep it company for a while, and it becomes clear that it won't let anyone leave unless a willing companion joins it. Stay with the spirit and become tainted unless you discard an ally. Ooh, I'm not going to discard an ally, so I will have to become tainted. Tainted. One of these. Take the top one. Zoe is now tainted, which is after you draw a blank or spawn a clue mythos, take and place one doom in your space. It's not too bad. I reckon it's going to get rid of that. And then Zoe has her proper encounter at Northside, which is this card here. And she is at the Curiosity Shop. When you touch the object, you get flashes of shipwrecks, crashing waves and sharp teeth. This thing is dangerous and you can't leave it here or someone might get hurt. Test will. She's She's got 4 will. So here we go. She passes with flying colours. If you pass, you grit your teeth and let the visions wash over you. Gain 1 curio. Gain 1 curio. You can get +1 as a research action, or +2 as a ward action. I'm going to take the magnifying glass, I think, as a research action. And then there's only 1 to come out, which is fine clothes. Once per round you may pay half price when buying an item. Not the best. And then we're going to go to Kate for her encounter. She's still at the Hall School at Kingsport, but she's going to get a terror first of all. It's 0 to 1. The desolate frozen streets echo with a crushing emptiness. Test will. She's will of 2. She's a will of 2. She passes. If you pass, you soldier on, confident you find other people in the store. And then another one at Kingsport for her. She's at the Hall School. Exhausted, you must have dozed off in a storage room. In your dream, you witness a young student performing an arcane ritual. Gain 1 spell. Okay. These have been shuffled, so we will take the top one. Mists of Riley. You may test law in place of observation as part of an evade action. That's good. So that is Kate's encounter done. And Preston doesn't get one because he's actually engaged with the looping thrall. And there we go, that's the encounter phase done. We then move on to the mythos phase. And again, start with Zoe. Actually, there's only 2 left in here. So the first one for her is going to be a headline. Oh, you suffer 3 damage and 3 horror unless you gain the Dark Pact condition. Ow! No, I can't take that because do I want a Dark Pact? I'm tainted already. No, I'm not. What I'm gonna do is 2 horror is going to go on to Olivia. 1 horror is going to go on to Delilah, and then Delilah is going to take 2 damage, and Olivia is going to take 1 damage. So that was the first one. That was the first one for Zoe, and then her second one is to draw a monster. And we've got a hulking thrall, spawn at street nearest prey, highest observation. That's going to be Kate. Spawn at street nearest prey. So that's going to go there, like that. And then all of these tokens are going to go back into the bag. And then we're going to move on to Kate for her two. First one for Kate is going to be Terra. So we take a Terra at her location, put it there, and another card goes on top of Central Kingsport. And then the second one for her is going to be Gateburst. Gateburst, top card of the event deck, which is Innsmouth Shawl. We put one doom on everything. Which is 1, 2, 3. That's annoying. And then these get moved. Okay, and then what did I do with the cards? Oh, here. These get shuffled and put at the back. And 6 or more, which is what we've got over here. 7, so we're going to remove those 4. One goes onto the scenario sheet, so we're halfway through. So that's it for Kate, and then Preston, he is going to get a Doom, and that's going to go East Town, and it's going to go at Hibbs Roadhouse. 3, and then the second one for Preston is going to be Terra. So he gets a Terra marker over at Innsmouth, and the Terra goes on the top of the card. And that is it for the Mythos phase. Okay, right, we're moving on to the encounter phase for this session, second encounter phase. And where do we start? I think I'm going to start off with Zoe. And she needs to we need to start collecting clues. Now I know there's a clue at south north side, but there's also 3 Terra. So what she's going to do is she's going to move 1, 2, and then pay $1 to move into the Black Cave or the general store. I think she'll go into the general store. She could potentially get a weapon there, so that's going to cost her $1. So she goes down to $4 because she had 5. 2, 3, 4. She's got $4. That was her first action. Her second action is to try and put the clue that she's got onto the scenario sheet. So she's going to do a research action, which is testing observation, I believe. Yeah, she's only got 2. Because she gets +1. She gets +1 from the magnifying glass. Now let's try it. She doesn't get it. She's got a 4. But she's got Olive McBride. So she is going to put a Doom in her space. To re-roll that. Which she gets. Good old Olive. Which means a clue goes to the scenario sheet. So that is Zoe done. Then who are we going to move on to? Preston's up there with a clue. It's only got 1 terror on it. But he's got the looping thrall to deal with. The lupine thrall to deal with. He's got 4 health, hits him for 2 and 1. Now I worked this out last time. It wasn't worth doing the beast with him because he's got a strength of 4. The knife gives him +1, which is 5. But the looping doesn't give any minuses, so there's no point in testing the spell, the beast within, because he's going to get 5 dice anyway. There's no modifiers, so he is going to attack the looping thrall for 5 dice. Oh, I just seen I missed the bloody. The Hulk. Oh God. Sorry, I missed the hulking thrall at the last. No, that came out. That's all right. That came out doing that. I'm sure it came out. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Right. 5 dice at the looping thrall from Preston. Oh, just the 1 success. Just the 1 success from Preston, which puts 1 damage on the looping thrall. That's a nasty bugger. Is there anything else that he can do? You can try and evade it. You can try and evade it. 2 observation, it's -2, so we can't even evade it. Can't do anything else. He can focus, but at his focus limit. He can evade. There's no point because he's rolling 0 dice, and he can attack, which he's already done. Okay, well I'm afraid that is poor old Preston done. Now maybe Kate can come to the rescue here. So she's going to attempt to do a binding. Or should she? That hulking thrall's about to. No, I think we're going to have to move with Kate. So first thing she's going to do, for her first action, she's going to gain $1. The second action she's going to do is to move. 1, 2, pay the $1. 3 to come up and give Preston a hand up there. And that is Kate done. Pretty lackluster turn for them, but I didn't want to get caught by the hulking thrall. I know we've got to kill thralls, but I think sensibility reigns here. Could be a problem, but there we go. Anyway, that is it for the action phase. We then move on to the monster phase. Now, first of all, monsters move. Each ready monster moves. So the hulking thrall is ready. It's on the steamship, so it's going to go 1 to there, 2 to Falcon Point, because it's after Kate with the highest observation. So that's that. Moved, done. It's not engaged, but the loop and throttle is engaged, and it's going to bite Preston for two damage and 1 sanity. So he's going to take a big old chunk. So he's now at 3 and taken 1. It's not too bad. You can take that. And then each exhausted monster readies, but there's no exhausted monsters there. Okay, so that's it for the monster phase. We're going to move on to the encounter phase, and as ever we will start with Zoe, and she is at Rivertown. So Rivertown. Now we've used all of the terror cards up, even though it's got 1 terror on it. There's no terror cards, so we're going to go straight to Rivertown's card. She's at the general store, and it is the clue one. There is a hunter's moon out tonight. Outside you see misshapen footprints in the snow. Gain 1 clue from your neighbourhood. Yoink. Brilliant. The shopkeeper intends to close the shop for now, so he asks you to make your final purchases. You may buy any number of common items from the display. That goes back over here now. Any number of common items. Well, let's buy the liquid courage for $1. Which takes that to there. Gives her +2 sanity. And do we want anything else? I'm tempted by the first aid kit, but I'm not going to for this point. I'm going to just draw another card out of here, which is Rabbit's Foot. Once per round you may re-roll 1 dice when taking a test. We do like a Rabbit's Foot. But that's it for Zoe. We'll move on to Kate, who's going to take a travel route card. And then she is in a country road. You may move 1 space. You may move 1 space or move to another country road. Well, we'll move into Preston space. Or do we move into the Marsh Refinery? We'll move into the Marsh Refinery, I think. Or do we? Oh, she can do that on an adjacent space. We'll do that. As you approach your destination, you see some misshapen figure running through the woods. You may become delayed to lure this abomination away from the city. If you do, become blessed. If you do not, spawn 1 monster. I am going to become delayed to become blessed. I definitely am going to do that. And she becomes blessed. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. 4s and 5s and 6s. Big thing in this game. So that's Kate's encounter. And then we know poor old Preston doesn't get an encounter because the lupine thrall is taking big chunks out of him. So that is Preston done, and that's the encounter phase done. We then move on to the ever so delightful mythos phase, which is causing us all sorts of problems. So we'll start off with Zoe. She is going to draw a doom. So the doom comes from the back of the card, and it's going to be Innsmouth Shore, and it's going to be Falcon Point. Falcon Point, I think that's that one there. That's going to become 3 now. Start using the 3s because I'm running out of small ones. And that goes on the bottom. So that was her first one. second one for Zoe is going to be a blank. Right, so we need to look at a card for Tainted. After you draw a blank or spawn a Mythos clue token, place 1 doom in your space. So Zoe's going to get 1 doom in her space. Frustrating. We haven't got the reckoning yet, so that's it for Zoe. And then we'll go across to Kate, who is going to get a headline. I hate these headlines. They are severe. Kate's going to get a headline, and it is: for each spell you have, you suffer 1 horror unless you discard that spell. And this is for Kate. She's got 1, 2, 3. She's going to have 3. Okay. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to put 1 horror on each of these things down here. So, first of all, we'll put 1 horror on Prudence, who's got 4. We'll put 1 horror on Nick, who's got 2. And then we'll put 1 horror on Innscook. So that's Kate's first one. Second one is going to be a clue. And the clue is going to go south side. Hasn't got a clue on it. Clue goes on there. 2 cards from south side. They're going to get shuffled in. Go on the top, and then we move finally across to Preston, who is going to get his first one, which is another headline: worst deck in the game. Worst deck in the game. So Preston's headline is test observation. Test observation and resolve the effects. His observation is 2. Oh dear. He gets 0. This is going to be bad. 0. You disengage all monsters and move to the unstable space. Okay. Okay. The unstable space currently is Falcon Point. So I'm going to disengage with the Looping Thrall. And he's going to move across to the Falcon Point and become engaged with the Hulking Thrall, which has got 2 health, no strength, no observation. And after it attacks, you become cursed unless you spend 1 remnant. Well, he's got 3 anyway, so that's cool. And then Preston's second Mythos token is going to be Spreading Doom. Spreading Doom. And that's going to be Downtown. Downtown is going to spread doom at the Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum is going to get 3 on it now. Oh dear. We need to control these, ladies and gentlemen. We need to control these. And that's it for Preston's Mythos phase. And I think at that point, having done two rounds, we'll call it there at the end of session 4. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough. It's all going a bit Pete Tong at the minute, but you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. We need to clear off some of this doom because it's going to start to bite us in the bum in a minute. We're on 5 on the cards. We need 10. We've got loads of stuff going on with the investigators, but we will see where it takes us. Let's see if we can take the fight to Ithaca in session 5. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying what I'm doing on the channel. Hope you're enjoying this playthrough. If If you could like and subscribe to the channel, that would be very much appreciated. And I will see you on the next one. Tatty bye.